Tax season again. Yeah, we all feel that knot in the stomach. But what if this year you actually felt confident doing your taxes, step by step?
Hey everyone, I'm Ryan from Universal Product Guides. Let's get started. Today, we're walking through TurboTax Deluxe 2026, one of the most trusted tools for filing your taxes with confidence. In this guide, we'll focus on what really matters: choosing the right filing status, reporting your income accurately, and using every deduction and credit available to you. No jargon, no panic, just simple steps to turn tax season from stressful to satisfying. Let's break down the process together, from setting your filing status to maximizing deductions and making sure you never miss a credit again.
Tax season. Yeah, that phrase alone is enough to bring on a wave of stress for pretty much everyone. But what if it didn't have to be that way? What if you could flip the script on this annual chore and turn it into something you actually feel confident about? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're about to break down the essentials. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? That feeling, that little knot in your stomach about making a mistake, or missing a deduction, or just feeling totally lost about where to even start. It's so common. So if that's you, trust me, you are definitely not alone. So that's the big question, right? How do we move past that feeling? It's simple, really. You do it by building a clear step-by-step plan. And that's what we're going to build together, starting right now. Okay, first things first. Everything, and I mean everything, starts with a strong foundation. Every single calculation you make later on depends on getting these first few details right. A little bit of careful thought here can save you from massive headaches down the road. This might seem super basic, but this one little choice you make carries so much weight. Your filing status isn't just a box you check. It literally impacts your tax bracket, how big your standard deduction is, and even which credits you're allowed to claim. It basically sets the rules for your entire return.
So you've got 5 main options here, and, the right choice isn't always the most obvious one. For example, most married couples file jointly, but in some specific situations, filing separately could actually be better. And head of household, that one has some very specific rules. The real key is to see which of these definitions truly fits your life as of December 31st of the tax year.
All right, once your status is locked in, it's time to tell your income story. And that's honestly a great way to think about it. You're not just punching in numbers. You're telling the complete financial story of your year, from your day job to that side hustle you started last summer. Next, you'll need to round up the usual suspects, all those income forms. But here's the really good news. Most modern tax software can actually import these directly from your job or your bank. And that's huge, because it doesn't just save time, it almost completely eliminates the chance of making a typo. Okay, for all my freelancers, gig workers, and self-employed people out there, listen up. This is so crucial. Reporting your income from that 1099 is only half the battle. The other half, the important half, is tracking all your business expenses. We're talking mileage, supplies, a piece of your home office. Every single one of those expenses directly lowers the amount of income you actually have to pay tax on. Okay, so we've got all our income reported. Now we get to pivot to the fun part, the strategic part of filing. This is where we stop just reporting what happened and we start actively working to maximize your return, finding every single deduction and credit you deserve. Now, this is one of the most important concepts to get straight in your head. A deduction is good. It lowers the total amount of your income that gets taxed. But a credit? A credit is amazing. It is a dollar-for-dollar reduction of the actual tax you owe. So a $1,000 credit saves you $1,000. End of story. And that brings us to a huge decision. Are you going to take the simple, no-fuss, standard deduction, or are you going to itemize a whole list of specific expenses? Most people just take the standard deduction. But if you own a home or had big medical bills, itemizing could save you a lot more money. The best part? You don't have to guess. Tax software will do the math for you both ways and then tell you which one's better. So how do you know which way to go? Well, this right here, this is your benchmark. Just find your filing status. If your list of itemizable expenses adds up to more than that number, you should probably itemize. It's that simple. And here are the big 4 expenses that usually get people over that benchmark. The interest you paid on your mortgage, your state and local taxes, any money you gave to charity, and of course, significant medical bills. If these sound familiar, you are a prime candidate for itemizing.
And if you want to see the real raw power of a tax credit, just look at this number, $2,000. For families, the child tax credit can slash your tax bill by up to $2,000 for each kid that qualifies. This isn't a deduction, it's a direct discount on what you owe the government. That's a total game changer. All right, we've entered everything, we've found our deductions and credits, we're on the home stretch. But just hitting file isn't the end of the road. These last couple of steps are all about making sure you're accurate today and setting yourself up for an even easier time next year. Okay, listen, I cannot say this loudly enough. Rushing at the very end is the #1 reason people run into easily avoidable problems. Seriously, taking just 10 extra minutes to do a final review can save you from a rejected return or weeks of stress waiting on a letter from the IRS. So here's a really simple but powerful review process. First, just let the software run its own check for errors. It's great at that. Second, you manually double-check the things software can't, like making absolutely sure your social security number and bank account info are perfect. And finally, just do a quick scan of your return and ask yourself, do I have the paperwork to back up any of these big claims? So you filed. You got that little confirmation email. Congratulations. High fives all around. But is the job really, truly done for the year? Not if you want to make next year even better. You know, the smartest filers treat tax prep as a year-round habit, not just some springtime scramble. This means doing little things, like organizing your documents in a folder as they come in, tracking your expenses as they happen, and adjusting your withholding after a big life change, like getting married or having a kid. These small habits make a massive, massive difference. And that really brings us to our final thought. Don't try to change everything all at once. Just ask yourself this one simple question. What is the single small habit you could start doing today, like right now, that would make you feel more prepared and way less stressed when next tax season rolls around?